and good morning. How are you today? We're on class number 1008. 1008. It's a lot of classes. But in any case, I have to correct something from yesterday. Yeah, Jimena, the author of this book, fantastic book. But there are a few expressions that I've never heard in my life, but they are British expressions. And yesterday I said the heebie-jeebies, for me dar escalofríos. Las arañas me dan escalofríos. Spiders give me the heebie-jeebies. No. It's a mistake. It's the heebie-jeebies. Heebie-jeebies. B y luego otra, la B primera. Heebie-jeebies. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. It gives me the creeps. Yeah. Spiders. Yeah. I remember once I went on a trip to the Soviet Union in the middle of the winter. Yeah, for 3 weeks when I was 21 years old. And when I returned to Dallas, Texas, I started living in a house just off the campus of the university, in a house. And there was a porch. You needed to walk up maybe 3 steps onto the porch and then open the door. The screen door, primero puerta de, how do you say screen door? I don't know. You know, esas puertas de pantalla y then luego la puerta, the screen. Screen is una pantalla. It's a screen. Tela metálica. A screen door. And then you open the door into the house. But there's a porch. And I took the film that I had taken pictures in the Soviet Union, in Russia. And of course, many years ago, you needed to take the film to have it developed. Para que se revelar la película. We say desarrollar, to develop. So I took it to the shop to have it developed. Went back 2 days, 3 days later, and I picked up the photos in a type of envelope. A type of envelope, you see. And I drove to the house and parked and walked up the steps, looking at pictures. I was looking at pictures, and a spider from the ceiling of the porch just fell right between my eyes and the picture, the photographs. And it was a big one. I mean, it was about this big, like this. And the pictures, photographs all over the floor of the porch. But I'm usually not afraid of spiders. I'm not afraid of spiders. In Spain, the spiders are harmless. In the United States, there are 2 spiders that are dangerous. The black widow and the brown recluse. And they're very common in Texas. So you need to be a little bit careful with spiders. But I remember once when I was living in Austin, Texas, in a rented house, I was sitting on the couch at night reading a book. The floor was a wooden floor. I was alone. In the middle, in a rural area, in an area of Austin, Texas, where there's no traffic. So it was very silent. And I was reading. Looked down. There was a spider walking on the floor. I could hear it. I turned, wow, it was a nice big spider. In that same house, I heard a praying mantis out at night, walking. Si hay alguien rondando la casa de noche, in el césped. And I went outside. Nobody. I went back to bed. But the window was open because it was hot outside. And somebody is walking on the grass outside. I went a second time. No. A third time. The third time. And I went back out a third time, but I had a flashlight. Flashlight es una linterna. The British say torch, como antorcha. Torch. but the Americans say flashlight, o sea, luz flash, a flashlight. It was a praying mantis, una mantis religiosa. Big, I mean, like walking in the grass. I didn't kill it, all right. I don't kill bugs usually. But in any case, there are a lot of bugs in Texas. All right, where are we? Hell-bent. I'm on page 117. The third expression, hell-bent. Infierno doblado. Hell is infierno. Heaven and hell. Heaven and hell. All right. Now to be, esto se dice mucho, to be hell-bent on something is, estoy empeñado, que lo voy a hacer, que es sí o sí. Hell-bent. I'm hell-bent on teaching you English. Yeah, you resist. Yeah, you don't make a strong enough effort. And I'm hell-bent on shoving English down your throat. To shove it down your throat means, abre la boca. Okay, that's to shove. Shove is empujar a empujones. To push is empujar. To shove is a empujones. That's a shove. Now to shove something down somebody's throat. Throat is garganta. Te lo voy a meter a empujones, garganta abajo. I'm going to shove it down your throat, se dice mucho. I'm going to shove English down your throat. I'm hell-bent on making sure that you learn English. All right. And finally, the last one, help yourself. Ayúdate a ti mismo. Significa, sírvete. No, sírvete tú. Servirse uno. Yeah, help yourself. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Paella. Yeah. Fabada. Migas. My God. Wait. No, help yourself. Yeah? You start, yeah, it's all you can eat. Todo lo que puedes comer por un solo dólar. Oh, all I can eat for $1? Wow. Let's see. Yeah, croquetas. Yeah, wow. Torrenos. Wow. Yes. All right. Wow. Criadillas. Okay. Yes, all you can eat. Yes, help yourself. Help yourself. All right. That's enough for today on expressions. Yeah, that's enough for today on expressions. We'll come back to these expressions another day, shall we? All right. And for now, I want to do a little bit of grammar before I continue. There is, there are, hay, hubo, ha habido, va a haber, puede que haya, habría, hubiera habido. Ok, siempre formando con el verbo haber. Aunque la palabra hay es una cosa irregular. Hay un problema. There's a problem. There is. There's a problem. Hay un problema. Is there a problem? No hay problema. There isn't a problem. Dos. Hay dos problemas. Oh, hay varios problemas. There are several problems. Really? Are there? Are there several problems? Yes, there are. No, there aren't. Yes, there are. No, there aren't. Or no, they're not. They're not or there aren't. Past tense. There was a big problem yesterday. In fact, there were several problems. How many problems were there yesterday? There were quite a few. Bastantes. Or there weren't any. Problems yesterday? No, none. There weren't any. Has there ever been a tornado in Madrid? ¿Ha habido alguna vez? Has there ever been a tornado in Madrid? No, there hasn't. There's never been a tornado in Madrid. Or yes, there have been, pluralizando, there have been. Han habido, como dirían en Cataluña, han habido muchos tornados. Okay. There have been many tornadoes in Madrid, which is not true. But there have been, it is true that there have been many tornadoes in Oklahoma. Oklahoma is part of Tornado Alley. Alley is un callejón. It's an alley. And we say el callejón de los tornados. And it's true. Tornado Alley. I've seen tornadoes, but I've never been. I saw a tornado in the sky, but it didn't come down to the ground. It flew over Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's interesting because Tulsa, Oklahoma is a city. And next to Tulsa is the river, the Arkansas River, Arkansas. The Arkansas River is big. It's 400 meters wide. It's pretty wide, the Arkansas River. But on the other side of the Arkansas River, there's a hill, maybe, 600 meters, 700 meters. There's a hill. And tornadoes always move from southwest, northeast. For example, if si hubiera un tornado en España o en el centro de España, if there were a tornado in Talavera de la Reina, it would come to Madrid and to Guadalajara, moving in that direction, not in the opposite direction. For some reason, tornadoes move from the southwest, these are two perspectives, southwest to the northeast. And in Tulsa, Oklahoma, there's a hill, un cerro. And so the tornado came and flew over Tulsa and landed about 20 kilometers farther to the east. So as the city of Tulsa is more or less protected, but not the area around Tulsa. There are a lot of tornadoes in Oklahoma. Oklahoma is the most famous state in the United States for tornadoes. And the two movies, Twister, both of these movies take place in Oklahoma. And I lived in Oklahoma for 10 years, almost 10 years, and I never saw a tornado, except once, flying across the sky of the city. Okay, there's going to be, va a haber una fiesta mañana. There's going to be una fiesta en mi casa. There's going to be a party tomorrow. Habrá una fiesta. There will be a party tomorrow. No habrá fiesta mañana. There won't be a party tomorrow. No va a haber una fiesta mañana. There isn't going to be. Is there going to be? Is there going to be a party or not? Yes, in fact, there are going to be two parties. There's going to be a party in my house and a party in the house next door. You can choose whichever one. You know, Manolo lives in the house next door. Manolo is throwing a party and I'm throwing a party. Both of us are throwing a party, which means organizing. Throw is lanzar al aire, arrojar, to throw. El pitcher lanza la pelota de béisbol. The pitcher throws the ball to the catcher. And the batter tries to hit the ball. All right, that's a throw. But we say to throw a party, no sé por qué. Vamos a arrojar o lanzar una fiesta mañana. O sea, vamos a montar una fiesta. We're going to throw a party tomorrow. And there are going to be a lot of people. There are going to be. We had a party 2 weeks ago and there were a lot of people. Sí. La semana pasada iba a haber una fiesta, pero se canceló. Iba a haber. Last Saturday, there was going to be a party in my house, but I canceled it. And there were going to, iba a haber mucha gente. There were going to be a lot of people. There were going to be a lot of people. So, people, I received an email. Well, email, no, I received I received an SMS, a message. A text message during the weekend from a person who's the manager of a gym. Yes. And she wrote to me and she said, Solo hay 3 personas con el mismo promedio de no, lo que sea. And she said in English, she's a Peruvian girl, she said, there's only 3 people. Y respondí, there are. There are only 3 people. Toda la vida con people is. You remember, ¿te acuerdas del acuerdo que tengo? You don't know? I have an agreement. A good friend. I have a very good friend whose name is Sergio. I have a very good friend whose name, cuyo nombre, I have a very good friend whose name is Sergio. And he speaks perfect English. He's Spanish, but his English is perfect. And I told him, because we're good friends, I said, listen, Sergio, if I die before you, I want you to organize the funeral, an American-style funeral, donde el ataúd presente, abierto. Okay, yeah. You know, it's like in the movies, in the películas, you see it, okay? And I say, when all the people have arrived, come to the coffin and say to me, Richard, the people is here. The people is here. Basically, the people are here. It's a test because I'm very sure that I will wake up and say, people are. That's the best test. You know, if a person has died, you can take a pin, you know, un alfiler en el pie, you know, a ver si está, if he's awake, you know, if he's dead or alive. No problem with me. You just say, the people is here. People are. Because I have corrected that mistake maybe 10,000 times. People are. I remember once in a class with 4 students or 5 students, I spent 30 seconds. People are. I wanted my students to hear it so much that it penetrated into their body. People are. Because so many people say people is. La gente es. Claro, en español la gente es. Las personas son. People are. Okay, there is, there are, there was, there were, there will be. Habrá una fiesta mañana. There will be a party tomorrow. All right. Habría una fiesta si no estuviera lloviendo. There would be a party if it weren't raining. There would be a party if it weren't raining. Siempre ha habido fiestas en esta casa. There have always been parties in this house. There was a party last week. There's a party right now. And there will be a party next week. There are always a lot of problems in life. There are always a lot of obstacles. Yes. And it's getting worse. There are more and more obstacles in life. There are. There could be. There may be. Puede que haya una solución, pero no estoy seguro. There may be a solution. Or there might be a solution. But I'm not sure. Debe de haber una solución. Si no, es que no lo entiendo. Debe de haber. Tiene que haber a la fuerza una solución para esto. There must be. There has to be. There has to be. There must be. There must be a solution for this. I refuse to accept the idea that there is no solution. There's always a solution. There must be a solution for this. There must be. There has to be a solution for this. All right. Gain fluency again. Gain fluency. How much time do we have, Marta? I think we have quite a bit. Creo que tenemos bastante tiempo. I think we have quite a bit of time. But it's not true. We have about 6 or 7 minutes only. Page 64. At the top. What's going on? Why all the noise? What's going on? Why all the noise? ¿Qué pasa aquí? ¿Por qué tanto barullo? Se dice, ¿no? Ruido. What's going on? Why all the noise? I told you, your mother is just back from the hospital. I told you that your mother is just back home from an operation and needs to stay in bed for several days. What she needs is some peace and quiet. Peace and quiet. Paz y quietud. O sea, paz y tranquilidad. Peace and quiet. Escrito quiet. What's going on? Why all the noise? I told you that your mother is just back home from an operation and needs to stay in bed for several days. Okay. The impression I have here is the father. And the father is talking to the children. Saying, ya está bien de ruido. ¿Qué pasa aquí? What's going on? What's going on is ¿qué pasa? What's happening is ¿qué está sucediendo? Es muy diferente. Pero ¿qué pasa aquí? Aquí pasa nos happen. What's happening here is ¿qué es lo que está aconteciendo aquí? You see, it sounds strange. What's going on? What's going on is bien, ¿qué pasa? A ver, ¿qué pasa? What's going on? ¿Eh? Why all the noise? ¿Por qué todo ruido este? ¿Por qué tanto barullo? Why all the noise? Why all the noise? I told you, your mother, ¿qué es lo que te dije? I told you that es opcional aquí. I told you that your mother is just back. Is just back home. He metido unas palabritas aquí. I told you that your mother is just back home. Está justo de regreso a casa. I told you that your mother is just back home from an operation and needs to stay in bed for several days. Tiene que guardar cama. And she needs to stay in bed. No decimos guardar aquí. She needs to stay in bed for several days. She's convalescing. She's recovering from an operation. Una intervención quirúrgica. Okay, una operación. She's just back home from an operation and needs to stay in bed for several days. What she needs is peace and quiet. Peace and quiet, right? Paz y tranquilidad. It's very difficult to say to the kids if they are 7 years old, 8 years old. But in any case, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? It's a very common expression. Pero ¿qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa aquí? What's going on? Todo el mundo me está mirando. Everybody's looking at me. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? All right. Why all the noise? I told you that your mother is just back home from an operation and needs to stay in bed for several days. What she needs is some peace and quiet. Algo de paz y tranquilidad. Lo que necesita ella. What she needs is some peace and quiet. Yeah, what I need is some peace and quiet too. Yo también. I need some peace and quiet. I have a lot of things to do. Yeah. Okay, one more. I think we have time for one more. Page 64, the second one. They've been warned several times. Esa gente, they've been warned several times that a hurricane could come this way and destroy their house. Why they built a wooden house so close to the beach is a mystery to me. This happens sometimes. In the United States, along the Atlantic coast and in the Gulf of Mexico, there are hurricanes, huracanes. Not tornadoes this time, but hurricanes. The hurricanes start, usually, near the Canary Islands as a low-pressure system, and it moves across the Atlantic in the direction of the Caribbean Sea. And sometimes it curves to Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and sometimes it goes over the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, and Cuba, and it moves into the Gulf of Mexico. If you remember Katrina in 2004, I believe. It went into the Gulf of Mexico and up to New Orleans, the city of New Orleans. And so these hurricanes are very dangerous. If you build a house on the coast, very close to the water, near the beach, it's dangerous. The house needs to be very strong. If it's not, the hurricane will destroy it. The hurricane. The worst hurricane in the history of the United States was in September 1900. September 1900, which is this month, 124 years ago. And the hurricane arrived at night. And in a question of 7 hours, it killed more than 10,000 people. Very dangerous. Okay, han sido advertidos, but I'll come back with this paragraph tomorrow.